Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is Crafting with V. If you're new here, welcome. So glad to have you. And if you're returning, thank you so much for returning. Okay, let's see. Good morning, Beth. How are y'all? Can you hear me okay? Morning, Connie. Happy to see y'all here today. So today, let me zoom this out so y'all can see it a little bit. Okay, today we are working on Woodland Panorama by Ciro Marchetti. I don't know if I'm saying that right, but I started this on March 21st and I'm getting close to being halfway done with it. It has 65 colors and I am absolutely loving it. Hi, Tita. Hi, Dari. So glad to see you, Creative Jen. Thank you for stopping by. Did I miss shells coming in? Oh my gosh, I didn't know I missed shells coming in. I do have my coffee right here. Although I'm going to have to take it and warm it up. I don't have my warming plate in here. So it's starting to get a little bit cold, but it's the cinnamon and brown sugar. And Shell's got this for me in from mail. Absolutely loving it. It's the best coffee. I put French vanilla creamer in it. Absolutely wonderful. Connie, I was going to ask you this before. I just remembered it now. On the other end, there is a squirrel. Do you think that's supposed to be a real squirrel, or do you think that squirrel is part of the woodwork, sort of like the duck? I was going to ask that before whenever I was working on it, but I just kept on forgetting. But yes, I am absolutely loving this. And that reminds me also. Okay. I haven't tried that one. In fact, whenever I first bought that cinnamon and brown sugar, I didn't think that I would like it. I really, really didn't. At first, I just bought one box. And then, whenever I finally tried it, I was like, that is so good. I did not know that I liked cinnamon and coffee until that moment. Okay. Okay, I wasn't sure because the duck looks like part of the carving, but the squirrel was a little bit different. I couldn't figure it out. Right now, I'm to the red butterfly, which is what I'm working on right now. I've almost got the red butterfly done. And then I'm getting part of the mane and part of the head of the horse. The horse. It's not a horse. It's a unicorn. But, I was going to show this to you. Last night during Granny's live, I thought, I wish I would have looked over and saw her doing this, but I didn't. But let's see if I can find the picture real quick. Because I was sitting outside kitting up Moonlight Magic Moonlight Magic Bear, something like that. But anyway, I hear this thump. And by the time I get my camera there, she's already up on top of the camper and making her way to the top of the house. That is Stardust. And thank you so much. Thank you, Margie, so much. Yeah, she has no fear. Ignore my background there. I know it's a little messy, but behind the camper is sort of our catch-all on somewhere to put the stuff that we don't need. But yeah, she jumped on the top of my car, jumped up there, and now she's jumping on the house. There's times that I will hear her. Yes. I have a cat door. Or actually it's a doggy door, but anyway, and it's actually in my crafter. So that the dog can go outside to use the restroom, whatever, in the yard, and then Stardust uses it all the time too. Well, I've been noticing her cat food that I leave out has been mysteriously disappearing very quickly for more than one cat. Well, the other morning, we have this orange cat that's always hanging around outside. Now, I will say he never comes in whenever we're around most of the time, but I think that he's been coming in at night and eating. But anyway, Josh got up and came in here to fix coffee. And the coffee maker is on the far side of my craft room. I have this part of the room sectioned off so the animals can't get in here. Or let's not say animals, let's say so that Bullet cannot get in here, because Bullet is very vindictive if you make him mad. So I have this side sectioned off. Anyway, Josh came in here to get his coffee that morning, and he sees this yellow cat just jump up from over on my craft room side of the room and run out the doggy door. Now, I hear all the time the dogs and animals in the other room while we're sleeping. I did not think that it was another cat. And this is not the first time that we've had other cats that have came in. We had one cat I had the door open in the front. And at the time, I didn't have a screen door, so I had one of those. They're like a screen mesh that you put up. And that time, that cat came in and just hopped up on the couch, made itself at home. I don't really have problems with raccoons here that much. I see them every now and then, but not very often. Hi, Benji. How are you? So she brings her pet friends in here, or lures them in the house. And then that night she snuck in our room and was in there sleeping. So she just runs off and leaves them. Says, okay, you're here. I'm going. But yeah, so I've started not filling her bowl as full at night. And I don't need any more pets, so I'm not trying to lure this other cat here. Now she is fixed, so she cannot have kittens, but she just decides that her friends are allowed in the house as well. But so what is everybody working on? Because I'm not getting very much done here. I love the way that this is turning out, though. I was kind of hoping that Lexi would pop on, but I haven't seen her this morning. And mainly it's just one cat that I've seen here lately around the house. It's this orange cat. But yeah, if y'all watched my whipping chat, Lexi actually got engaged. And I told y'all about, if y'all ever send me messages, those who have me on Facebook, if you ever send me messages and you receive a random emoji that's not anything that should be there, just, I'm terrible with Messenger and I try to zoom in before I click on it, so it sends a random emoji. She sent me one, and the first thing, the random emoji that I accidentally sent her was a mad emoji whenever she told me that Robbie proposed to her. So, yeah, I was like, I did not mean that. Okay, I missed something. What did I miss? Where? Yes, she did bring her boyfriend over. What did I miss? That's funny, Kathy. I'm lucky I haven't had to deal with raccoons. Those Nickies are so big. I think that the Nickies are about the same size as my woodland panorama, or a lot of them are anyway. Restful Earth. Nice. I don't know if I've seen that one. I probably have. The Partridge in a Pear Tree. Love Canvas. I think I have that one. I'm pretty sure I have that one. Yeah. Yeah, I sent her a bad reaction. And um I'm not I'm still working on the pink horse, but it's coming along really slowly because I'm mainly doing that one at work. I don't want to share that, and it's in my way of seeing my chat. Says share your referral link. Oh well. I think, yes, this one's 180 by 60 that I'm working on. I have never done an Oralola. I can't even say it. Oralola? Something like that. I absolutely love this painting. So, so pretty. Okay, I did finish up this color, so I'm going to go ahead and get out a different color real quick. I might get a few drills laid down. We'll do the U's. I think I've already done all of the ABs in this one, in this section, so yeah, I am very bad about that. And I know I've did it like 2 or 3 times. She found a cup that she knew that I would like one time, and I did the same thing. I put a sad emoji. But now I am hoping this weekend goes a little better at work than last weekend. Last weekend, I had some doozies of drivers. Just, they were not. It's like a lot of them, it's like before the holidays, they put all of their backup drivers on the road to deliver the loads. And it's like you're constantly repeating yourself on what to do. And then even after I went through my spiel of everything that they're supposed to do, I know the managers had to go out there 2 or 3 times and tell them to disconnect anyway after they already told me that they were. Good morning, Tracy. How are you, Laura? So glad to see you. So glad that you stopped by. Yeah, unfortunately, I have to go to work here in a little bit as well. I do this before work. I will look at it, shells, and see. I will try. I'm here lately. It seems like I'm lucky to be able to put out 2 or 3 videos a week. But I will definitely try. The main day that I have time to do that, I'm going to start trying to, I was going to go live Thursday in my car, and it's probably a good thing that I did not, because Shells actually went live, so I popped into her live, and then Joshua got sent home early from work. I guess labor was too high. So I wouldn't have been able to be live for more than like 15 minutes anyway. So, so I watched her for a few minutes, and then I listened to Shells on my way home after I picked him up. But I'm thinking about it, as long as he works more than 30 minutes to an hour next week on Thursday, I might try to go live while he's there. We'll just go to the park. You may not see a whole lot of working on canvas, but I might try to go live while he's at work. It'll be just a pop-up because I'm not sure. I always, whenever I drop him off, I always go over to the Dollar Tree first and see what they have. And then I go over to the park and wait. I could DoorDash and Uber Eats up there, but I don't know what it is about that town, but I absolutely hate delivering there. I don't know what it is. I just don't like doing it in that town. It's sort of like, maybe it's because I don't know the area real well. But hi, Laura. How are you? But so I might try to go live on Thursday once I drop him off and then go to the Dollar Tree. You'll just get to see me, though. I might show what I'm working on here and there because I haven't quite got the setup yet down so that y'all can see the canvas that I'm working on a live. We've got 17 people in here. Welcome, everyone. I am so happy that y'all are all here. But yeah, last weekend, we had a bunch of drivers that didn't want to disconnect. Then we had one that didn't want to take my word for it. So I had to call the manager over. And the manager that ended up coming over was the ops manager, the highest one that we had in the building at the time. And whenever he told him the same thing, he said, well, I want to speak to somebody above you. And he basically said, well, I'm the highest one here. If you would like to call the company line, you can do that. But yeah, it's just we make them disconnect for the safety of our unloaders because we have had some pullouts on trailers while the unloader was still in the trailer. At this particular place that I work, we haven't had any serious injuries, but there has been a lot of places that happens where it was a completely different story. Okay, I missed something again. That's what happens whenever I try to diamond paint too. I don't know what I missed. What did Laura say? Trying to go back through and see what I missed. But yeah, a lot of the times though, we have really, really good drivers that come in. We have drivers that are there every week. In fact, I remember this one driver, he hasn't been in a couple years. I don't know what happened to him. But whenever he would come in and he had this big fluffy white beard like Santa Claus. And around Christmas, he would always wear like the suspenders. And then he would just regular pants and suspenders. And then he would wear just a regular shirt underneath it, but he would wear a Christmas hat. And we have a few drivers that come in that bring their kids in, especially on like Christmas break and stuff. They'll bring them in. And I remember so many years, that guy just made all of those kids' day. Because if a kid actually talked to him and wanted a picture, and as long as it was okay with the drivers or the parents of the kids, he would let them take a picture. He would let them tell him what they wanted for Christmas, the whole 9 yards. He would just stop what he was doing to talk with the kids and stuff. It was so sweet, and I know he came to RDC for about 5 years, almost on a daily basis. Oh, I'm so glad to hear that, Laura. You had surgery, right? That's what I missed. And if I would have looked right above it, I would have saw that. Hi, Southern girl. How are you? Welcome. So glad to see you. I'm so glad to hear that, Tita. Why is my stream on my tablet just quit? There it goes. Maybe it's because I was looking up. I am so glad that she is doing so much better. There it goes. I was like, what did I do to my chat? I have my tablet here this time so I don't have to look at this tiny little screen. But I'm going to be working on the Moonlight Magic Bear down at the shop. A lot of times I'll go down there and wait on orders because it's sort of close to like Pizza Hut and all them. And then I work down there one day a week. What day that is every week just depends on how my schedule goes. And but I'm going to take that down there, so you won't see a whole lot of progress on it, but I might take little pictures of it, of my progress, and at the end of it I might just put a little short video of the progress on it whenever I'm done. I am so happy to hear that, Tita. Yeah, I am so happy that you're here. Thank you so much for being here, Laura. But yeah, I didn't get to go and see my mom yesterday. I got so busy, and I know that's not an excuse. I should have stopped by to see her anyway. But between working at the shop, I was so tired once I got home. And door dashing, I did I did okay on DoorDash yesterday. I'm sure that you will, Laura. Morning, Anita. How are you? And it's perfectly fine. I'm glad that we can make you smile. But Now I completely forgot what I was saying. Oh, I didn't get to go and see my mom yesterday, so I will probably go by and see her tomorrow before I go to work. So I'll check up on her. But my brother did go and see her last week. This last week. And she had told him that all the pictures in her room her sister gave to her. So sometimes it's a little hard hearing stuff like that, but I'm brave to do DoorDash. I mainly just do it in the town that I live in for the most part. Oh, and our town isn't that big. So I know in a lot of the bigger cities, I would not do it. I will not do it in like Fort Smith or Russellville, places like that. It's just, if I don't know the area very well, I don't want to do it. I had one experience of doing a DoorDash that I was really uncomfortable doing about, I think it's been almost a year ago now. But I took this order out to the middle of nowhere. It paid really good, but took it way out in the country. And the place that they had me drop it, they had on there leave it doors, so you've got to try to get a picture of it once you do it. And it was just, okay, making sure my chat didn't freeze again. It was pitch dark out there. And you could not see nothing. They had no lights, no nothing on. So I tried to use my phone to kind of light the way, and their fence made it to where you couldn't get in the fence. I couldn't even find the gate. So I sent them a message, told them that I left it in this wagon thing because I couldn't even take a picture. It was so dark. And I'd always thought whenever it was dark, I didn't really need a flashlight. Until that night, because I could always use my phone. So from that point on, I always have a flashlight with me. And that I didn't know that, Southern girl. I didn't know that you were a constable. But from that point on, I will not go anywhere without a flashlight. I do keep pepper spray on me just in case. I know that's not much protection, but I do keep that on me. I have it. I'm normally, especially when at night and I'm out and about, I do keep it in close hand. And Josh got it for me a long time ago. But it was so dark there that I could not even take a picture because whenever I would open up the DoorDash app to take the picture, it would turn my flash off. So it wouldn't even get a picture. It was just dark. And then it would tell me there was not enough light. So, and since then, they have changed the app to where you can't just skip the picture. You have to take a picture. You can hand it to customer, but even if If they tell you to leave it at the door, you have to have a picture. Hi, Julie. How are you? Yeah, I don't make a whole lot at DoorDash, and it's mainly because I only do it in the town and the surrounding towns that I live in. Places that I know my way around. Okay. Occasionally I get a place that, or a road or something that I never even knew was there. Let's see. Let's do what do we want to do next? How about the R's? What number is the R's? Let's see. Which is 9. I love this idea of this thing. Granny gave me this idea. But whenever I print mine off, I print it off full size. I take a picture of the key code instead of using the one that they give me. And then it makes it bigger. And now I forgot. I got distracted. 9. Forgot which one I was grabbing. I wish you luck on your thrifting. I hope you find lots of good stuff. One of these days, I'm going to go out and do that. Just to see what I can find. But since I work weekends, it's a little harder to go to like the yard sales and stuff. Really? That is absolutely terrible. And most of the time now, I do my deliveries during the day. It's not often that I do a whole lot at night. In fact, I was doing one yesterday and I turned one down because it was quite a ways away. But it would have been dark by the time that I got back. I'm really picky, so I don't make a lot of money. There is somebody else here in town that does DoorDash that they DoorDash all the time. I think it's their main source of income. That is so nice. I would love to be able to find a bunch of stuff. I love going to yard sales. I just never get a chance to do it anymore. But now, as far I could do the Uber rideshare and stuff, but I am definitely not comfortable doing that, so I will not do that. That is just terrible. I hate to hear that. Stuff like that. A lot of times I don't even watch the news anymore hardly because of stuff like that. I hate seeing stuff like that. Yeah, I do a few Uber Eats, not that many. Um they literally just came to town, but they have the ride share, and I'm not signed up for that part because I do not want a stranger being in my car. Yeah, I could not do that. It's sort of like I couldn't be a taxi driver either. It would be interesting to meet all of these different people, but it's just not something that I could do. I live in a small town in Arkansas. I've been here most of my life. I've been here since I was 5 years old. Occasionally, I moved within an hour away from here, but it's like during school, you're always saying, as soon as I'm old enough, I'm getting out of this town. And then, as soon as you have the chance and you move out of the town, something tends to draw you right back to it. I agree. I agree, Kathy. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't notice Shells was leaving. Bye. Thank you so much for stopping by. That is true. That is true, Dari, or Margie. I'm just not one of those people. I don't think I could be that scary. Although my kids say that I am whenever I get mad. But yeah, I do not know when Lexi will be getting married. They haven't set a date or anything yet, but now I will have one child that is not married after that. Let's see. I was fixing to put this up, and I've got a whole bunch of R's left to do on here. I haven't hardly done any of them. I don't think I will have any more grandchildren. It's a possibility, but Andrew and his wife don't want kids. And Joshua, I just don't see him ever having kids. So, I've got 6 grandkids, though. Congratulations on your finish, Jen. You'll have to show it. Um, yeah, I'll make a playlist here in a little bit to watch while I'm at work tonight. So I try to get caught up on all my YouTube while I'm at work. I can listen, I can't really comment as much. Sometimes I can. It just depends on how busy we are. And since it's after Easter, I don't know how busy we'll be. Hopefully I'm really hoping we start picking up in volume. Here lately, it seems like our volume has really dropped. In fact, there's some days I struggle to get 10.5 hours at work instead of the 11 that I'm supposed to. Courtney has 3. Zach has 1. Lexi has 2. And Lexi said that she's not having any more. I don't believe Zach and them are having any more. So, and Andrew doesn't want them at all. I am very blessed to have my grandchildren. I'm so happy whenever I can have them here for a little bit and then send them home. I don't blame you. I did that until I had to start keeping my grandkids all the time, and then I quit spoiling them as much. But right now, Courtney is not working that much, so I don't have my grandkids here as much as why. That's also the reason why you don't see or hear Remy in the videos that much anymore. Hi, Laura. How are you? We have 2 Lauras in here today. Thank you, Jules and Lorraine. So glad that you stopped by. Did you just get here or did I miss you coming in? Yeah, I'm going to try. And I'm not going to say that I am, but I'm going to try to do a live next week, probably on Thursday. It will be a pop-up live. I don't know exactly when it will be. Okay. I've got one of your videos to Jules and Lorraine. I've got one of your videos to watch while I'm at work this weekend. I've got it on my playlist ready to go. I've got to add a few more to it. but I'm going to try to go live on Thursday. I just don't know what time it'll be. And maybe if it's nice, I'll sit out at the picnic table at the park. But I am it's been a busy week, but you know how sometimes it just gets to be a busy week, but whenever you look back on it, you're like, what all have I done? It doesn't seem like I've done that much, but it seems like it was just go, go, go. That sounds like Stardust. Right now, she is in the other room, but in the mornings or whenever I'm sitting in the living room, she'll do it in here too. Whenever I'm in here, she'll climb up on my leg and just stand there with her paws on my leg, wanting to get in my lap. And if I scoot back away from the table or anything, she hops right in my lap. Well, in the living room, she'll do the same thing, except she'll get up on one of my other tables that I have sitting there, and she'll kind of put her legs on the arm of the chair, and as soon as I scoot back a little bit and she sees that there's a little room for her to squeeze in there, she'll jump in my lap. And I try to keep her off of my diamond painting, but yesterday, whenever I was down at the shop for a little bit, my brother has a cat named Max down there. I set my little basket bag down. It's a plastic basket, but it's kind of skinny. And I keep my diamond painting stuff in there. So I took it out to start working on my diamond painting stuff, and this cat is mean. As soon as I start pulling stuff out, he's sitting there trying to attack my hand and stuff. And he is just so mean. Now, he doesn't do it hard, but he doesn't bite real hard or anything, but still, it doesn't matter what you try to do, he's right there. So I told him he was a shop cat. He needed to go out in the shop. Which my brother he tries to keep him in the offices. But somehow this cat will go up on his shelves in his office, and he'll climb up through. He's found a hole or something up there where he'll climb up through there, go through the attic, and then come back down into the other part of the shop out where they work on the cars and stuff. I think he's patched like 3 or 4 holes trying to keep him in the offices, and it just doesn't work. If I tried, I don't think I could keep Stardust in the house at all. And it's like, she knows that she's not supposed to go into our bedroom at night because she wakes me up to have me to let her out at night. Well, as soon as that bedroom door opens, she shoots in and then runs underneath the bed so that we can't get her. And Josh took the broom in there last night trying to shoo her out from underneath the bed. They are so very demanding. I can't believe how fast this hour goes by every Saturday. This hour just flies by. We've only got about 5 minutes left, and then I've got to go get ready for work. I really do not want to go into work today, but I have to. Yeah, I cannot leave my laptop open at all. Once I finish with the live and stuff, I'm going to have to close down my laptop. Because if I don't, that is the first place that Stardust will go and lay. She will lay down right on the keyboards. As long as they don't bring you a bird. That's the one thing about summer that I do not look forward to at all, summer and spring, is because Stardust will go out and catch critters. And then she will bring them to me. That's something I cannot handle very well. In fact, last year she brought me a live bird. I had to shoo her back outside, get the bird away from her, and then she was so mad at me. Okay, so we have about 4 minutes left. I'm going to go ahead and let y'all go. I have had such a wonderful time here today. That is quite all right. I go live every Saturday morning at 9 a.m. Central Time. I've had so much fun today. I'm so glad all of y'all have stopped by to be here for this. I want to I did get a few new subscribers, so thank y'all so much for that. I am getting so close to my 1,000 subscribers. Anyway, I hope y'all enjoyed your time here. I know I did. Everyone, take care. I will see you in the next video. Bye, everyone. And thank you, Kathy, for that. Bye.